Nothing tells you that Western civilization is just absolutely cooked like the levels of abject stupidity that are on display at our so-called elite universities. These have been doing the rounds recently, and they are designed to show that Charlie Kirk wasn't very good at debating. But what they really show is that our civilization has reached idiocracy levels. So we're going to watch a couple of clips and then I'm going to destroy this guy.
So many ancient and recent societies embrace same-sex relationships and even the idea of third genders well before Western conservatism even existed. So when you claim that modern conservative values represent some kind of universal, objective moral truth, like you said on your chair over there, aren't you just defending a selective, historically recent ideology that erases most of human history and targets people who have always been part of it?
Can you point to me a great power that endorsed same-sex marriage? Not cohabitation, but marriage.
Ancient Mesopotamia.
As marriage. As recognized.
As marriage that exists.
Recognized by the state.
100%.
And how did that work out for them?
It worked out perfectly fine. It was an accepted norm of society.
Okay, I still think it's wrong.
So many.
Now, I always get suspicious when anyone talks about, especially ancient Mesopotamia, like the Sumerians, how those societies were, with any kind of real, like, oh yeah, it was definitely like this, because obviously a lot of the evidence we have from them is pretty sketchy. But there is obviously some actual hard primary evidence, tablets that were left over. Now, the problem for this guy is that hundreds, maybe thousands of these have been found. And all of them were between men and women. So it's highly unlikely that there were lots and lots of these contracts and that the only ones that survived were heterosexual ones. That is very strong evidence to suggest that there were not, in fact, same-sex marriages in Mesopotamia. And all that they base these claims on are basically a metaphor from Gilgamesh, some pictures of priests bumming each other. But obviously the question was, were these marriages sanctioned by the state? And we have no physical evidence that they were. There might be something in the Hammurabi Code, but once again, the hard evidence would suggest that in Mesopotamia, marriage was between a man and a woman. Once again, I'm not saying I'm not making a moral claim about this, but I'm just saying we do need to stick to facts. And these kids are supposedly these are our intellectual elite, and they are, part of me, feels a bit sorry for them because, they have been brainwashed, essentially. But you can see that the brainwashing goes all the way up to our elite universities. And the next one is even better.
Objective universal truths.
Yes, there are.
So
murder is wrong today, and murder was wrong 2,000 years ago.
Right. Okay. Fair. That's not same sex, but fair. I see your point. But
there are moral truths that are transcendent of time, place, and matter.
Okay, but so just to clarify, you believe that this is in the Bible. This is laid out in the Bible that man shall not sleep with man, and so therefore
it's also repeated throughout the New Testament as well. In the book of Matthew, Jesus reaffirms the biblical standard for marriage.
Okay, so I'm going to make two very, very quick points. So the first, so if we look at the Old Testament in isolation, just to start off with, as an example. So let's look at Exodus 35:2, which suggests that if you work on the Sabbath, you should be put to death. If you look at Leviticus 11:7, it suggests that if you have pork, you should be put to death. Let me finish, I'll be done. If you plant two crops side by side, you should be stoned by your entire village. If you wear a suit, which you are wearing now, that contains 2 different fibers intertwined into the same jacket, you should be burned at the stake by your own mother. Now, following that rationale, in Leviticus 18:22, when it states that man shall not sleep with man, why aren't we burning ourselves at the stake as well? Why aren't we stoning ourselves to death?
Jesus Christ, it's like the fucking Jerry Springer show. It's that bad. And we're about to find out how bad it gets. Okay, mate, well, if it does say that in the Bible, Rock couldn't find it. I think this here is the passage you're referring to. And here's the bad bit, is that your source is the fucking West Wing. You have literally watched a TV show, assumed that it is gospel truth, and then gone and repeated that at the highest level of British education. That's fucking disgraceful. You're a fucking idiot. You're a stupid, jumped up little twat. And quite frankly, the humanities department at Cambridge and Oxford should be shut down, and all of that money should be given to STEM so they can do something fucking useful with it, you stupid little cunt. I mean, if you actually look at Leviticus 11:7, which I believe was the one that he quoted in the King James Version, it said, "And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you." So, yeah, why don't you look at Leviticus 11:7 before you start quoting total bullshit? You idiot. You've made yourself look really, really stupid, and you've disgraced your university. Well done, you idiot.